Hi, my name is Kate. We're Young People Speak Up. Welcome to Square Stories.
Today we are going to look at 3 silver trees.
The silver birch trees were planted by the Victorians. There are 3, but they have grown together as one.
We've written a poem about the silver birch trees.
3 guards protecting against the enemies.
3 brothers in arms, brave together, forever.
Sometimes it's a curse.
Sometimes it's a gift.
3 branches but one tree.
The Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit.
Bright silver.
A seed planted separately, merged together, protecting nature.
Don't
cut me down!
Because the birds live in me. Preserve the environment.
The planet and everything else that lives on it.
Hi, my name's Cheryl and today I'm going to show you how to make concertina books for your heritage poetry with Young People Speak Up. They're going to look a little bit like this. Tiny little books for your very special heritage poems handmade by you. So let's start by taking a look at all of the materials that you need to make your heritage book. The first thing you need is your paper. I've got a scrap piece here and some card. I'm using an old Christmas card. You need a pair of scissors and also some Pritt stick glue. And if you've got some, it might be an idea to have your pens and pencils with you in case you want to decorate your cover your own style. Let's press pause here so that you can make sure you've got everything. So let's start by cutting our paper. We want it to be an inch and a half wide, and just cut it into a strip like I'm doing there. Now that you've done that, let's start our folding. We're going to go back and forth all the way along the piece of paper like this. So after your first fold, you're going to go the other way, the opposite way. And the same again, only this time, back and forth. Can you see? You're making a zigzag with the paper. These are the pages of your book. Keep going right through until the end. It should look like this. And just press it down gently with your finger to make sure that the folds are okay. I'm going to press hold again here just to make sure that we're all at the same stage. Now that you've got your piece of paper all folded, it should look like an M with 2 feet sticking out either side. Now let's make the cover. I'm using an old Christmas card, but you can use whatever you have. You want to cut it so that it's wider than your folded up piece of paper. I'll show you now. Can you see? It's wider all the way round than my piece of paper. And now that it is, just going to fold it over so that it's a cover. Getting it nice and straight. But there's a bit poking out, so I'll trim that off with my scissors. Now we need to stick it, but before we do, let's press pause and make sure that we're all at the same stage together. Okay, now that we're all at the same stage, let's take our Pritt stick and we're going to glue the pages of our book into our cover. And we do that by putting the glue onto those little feet that are poking out on the underneath of them so that the M is going to stay standing up. Not too much glue, you don't need a lot. Both sides. And then gently fold it back up again and place it inside the cover. Can you see? So that those feet either side of the M are stuck to the front and the back of the cover. And now the M is squashed in the middle. I'm just going to straighten out my glue so it's made a mark. Yours might do too, and you can just get rid of that by squidging it with your finger. And now you have a blank concertina book. If it isn't folded properly, you might take the back of the scissors and run it down the spine of the book, just so that it opens and closes a bit better. I'm going to press pause again now, just to make sure that we're all at the same stage. Now that we're all at the same stage, let's think about writing our poem into the book. I use my favourite pen for this. You've probably got a favourite pen you like to write with too. Now you don't have to write the whole poem in your book, maybe your favourite line from the poem. Perhaps just 3 or 4 words per page, or if you've got tiny handwriting you might get more in than I have. Don't forget, you can always make another book for the second verse. Let's stop for a moment and make sure that we're all at the same stage. That's great, well done. Now we're going to decorate the cover. I've used card to decorate mine. You might decide just to draw a picture that's related to your poem, but I'm going to use red and blue coloured card. And I'm going to cut the squares for the front by measuring around the little book. And I just draw around the book onto the card, and that will be my guide then for cutting it out. But at the moment it's the same size as the book and I want it to be smaller. So if I trim it all the way round, I know that it will be smaller than the front cover of my book. Now I want a piece of blue to go on the inside. So I'm going to do the same again, only this time I'm going to draw around the red square onto the blue. Like this. And now I'm going to cut this square out. Exactly the same. So now I want to stick the blue onto the red and the red onto the white, so that it looks like this at the end. But before I do that, I'm just going to do the writing on the front, on the blue here. I like to put little stitches around the outsides of my books. You can decorate yours however you like. And then you can handwrite the title on the front. You've got a bit more time than me, so perhaps your writing will be tidier than mine is here. I think this might be a good place to pause again, just so that we know that we're all at the same stage. And once you've done that, now it's time to stick it all together. So first of all, we're going to stick the blue onto the red, like this. Doesn't need a lot of glue. And now we're going to stick the red onto the white. Again, a little bit of glue, well I've put quite a lot on actually, haven't I? Onto the red, and now we're going to stick that onto the actual book itself, onto the white cover there. Just gently but firmly pressing it down. And there we have it. That's our heritage poetry book for our Square Stories poems about the Town Hall Square.